the talking points that came out of this weekend's UFC had to do with Max. And I believe Max was in the very first fight of the night. But Max was being cornered by Robert Drysdale. He takes this fight on 5 days' notice. And that's a very relevant piece to this. When a guy takes a short notice fight, what does that mean? Well, largely it just means his condition isn't where he's going to want it to be. And you're not going to get anything accomplished in 5 days. You're going to get your medicals done, your paperwork done. You're going to get to the location. In this case, he happened to be in Las Vegas. I understand there's not a travel day, but then you're going to make weight. So whatever you had the day you accepted that phone call is what you're going to take into the cage, and he used it all up. It's a 15-minute contest. He went for 10 minutes. He really went for about 6.5 and then hung in there for 3.5. I mean, I thought he showed tremendous heart. I think that the storyline coming out that this guy isn't tough enough or this guy doesn't have the heart for what it takes. Listen, this guy didn't have time to prepare. Everything he had, he left in there. That is Rule 101. That is what you were supposed to do. That is your deal with the viewer. You tune in to watch me, I would give you everything I've got. He did. Now, if you wanted to finish that thought into a perfect world, you'd have whatever the duration was. If it's a 5-round fight or if it's a 3-round fight, you'd be able to meet that duration. This was not a perfect world scenario. This was 5 days' notice. So he goes out there, he puts it on the line in between the second and third round. He tells his corner, Robert Drysdale, stop the fight. His exact words were, call it. Robert Drysdale has 1 minute as a cornerman to try to change the mind or influence or inspire or motivate in any possible direction that meter's going to sway his athlete. In that minute, the athlete is fully protected. He is in his corner. He is on his stool. He's got ice on his neck. He's got water in his hand. But regardless of the conversation, the cornerman has 1 minute to inspire, to educate, and to motivate. That's it. Whatever the task is, if you've got an eye that's shut, you've got a nose that's swollen, whatever it is, you have 60 seconds to work on it. In this situation, it was a pretty straightforward one. The athlete let him know right away, I'm checking out. Mentally and physically, I'm checking out. Cornerman Drysdale has 1 minute to bring him back around or not. In this situation, Cornerman Drysdale was not able to bring his athlete around. So what happened? They stopped the fight. Make sure you look at this at a real simple level. The athlete did not want to continue. Conclusion of this story, athlete did not continue. The fact that this is a talking point or that Robert Drysdale is being questioned for trying to talk his athlete back into the contest while on break, while safe, and while protected. You have to understand, the athlete wasn't saying, get me to the hospital now. Stitch me up now. This wasn't something that was of urgent time. This was, do not send me back in there. The athlete was not sent back in there. The end. And also, I would like to mention this. In this sport, if you stop in between rounds, it can be a major black eye that is very hard to ever live down. Please don't do that to Max. That is just simply not what happened here, guys. You had an athlete who took an opportunity on very short notice. He did the best that he could. He never quit that fight. You were using the wrong term. He stopped fighting. We're splitting hairs. Not a significant difference, but there is a difference. Quitting a fight happens when the action is going. You ball up, you fall into it, you give your back and let him rear naked choke you. He throws a punch, it barely hits you, you fall down like you're knocked out. There's a number of ways to quit fights. I see them all the time. Very hard to quit anything when you're on break anyway. He did not continue. Not great, not what he wanted to do, but it does give him something to identify and go and work on. He's now learned something about this business, which is some of the biggest opportunities will come by being ready when nobody else is. So let it be a teachable moment for everybody else, including Max. Don't let this be an opportunity to kick Max. Max showed major courage by saying yes. Walking into his dream, seizing the moment to the best of his abilities, running out of energy, and stopping on the break, not in between the action. Max did everything right. Look, it was a tough situation. It's a tough circumstance. But this is not a scarlet letter that should have to follow him around. He should be given, and I trust he will be given, another opportunity. And I don't mean by the promotion. I mean by you, the viewer. He should be given another opportunity with a reasonable amount of time to prepare. And I think you could call him on short notice. I know Max is an athlete very well. I followed his collegiate career at North Carolina, North Carolina State. This guy's a stud, for sure. He was not ready for 15 minutes. Real simple. He let his corner know that. Corner had a minute, tried to bring him around, calm him down. Didn't get there, time elapsed, called the fight. That is what happened.